Look, when your community is standing on the shore of the Red Sea, and you've got mountains on this side and mountains on that side, and you've got Pharaoh and the chariots behind you, and all that's in front of you is a bunch of mud and water, it's that moment that you need your Miriam to sing and your Moses to lead. I am convinced that in Saskatchewan Conference, like never before, we need to value and we need to affirm and we need to support our servant leaders in ordered ministry. We need to be supporting our ministers, ordained, diaconal, designated lay. And if we are going to give wings to this conference and the Church of Jesus Christ in this province and in this world, then we have, in my view, no alternative but that we must raise up a whole new generation of servant leaders. I'm convinced of it. We need them to join us. And I tell you, this new generation, it's going to have to come from all age groups. It's going to have to come from our youth. It's going to have to come from people who are in first and second careers. This new generation is going to have to come from all of the diversity of our church and province and globe. And by the way, this new generation should be drawn from our communities. It's about time Saskatchewan Conference said to itself, we can no longer rely on the conferences of Ontario to provide for our ordered ministry, like we've been doing for the last 50 years. You know, when Edmund Oliver opened St. Andrew's College, the whole principle was we should educate right out of our own ethos, right out of our own community, our servant leaders. So my first proposition today is that if we seek to give wings to the work of God's Spirit among us, if we seek to give wings to our communities of faith, to our congregation in their new realities, if we seek to make life and flight easier for our neighbors, for ourselves, and for our world, then we must raise up a new generation of servant leaders for ordered ministry. That's my first proposition. Here's my second. It follows the first. Raising up such a new generation of servant leaders for our church will not happen unless we decide to make it happen. Now, I just believe if you went around this room and you surveyed those in ordered ministry in our conference with the question, when or how did they first hear God's call to servant leadership in the church, I'm sure the vast majority of them would say the call came through a tap on the shoulder, a gentle encouragement, a moment of counsel from a trusted friend or from a trusted pastor, a call from a family member, a community member, from a minister. You know, you should just know this. Every political party in this province for the last 2 years has been out there endeavoring to attract candidates for elected office in the legislature. The parties do it because that's how you win elections. The parties do it because they actually believe in what they're doing. They believe in the value of elected office. They believe we need the best people that we can find. And what I find so strange is in the church, we seem to have no such sense of urgency or purpose in inviting to ministry. I find it so strange that we've become so hesitant to encourage people to give their lives to service in ordered ministry, designated lay, diaconal, or ordained. And I find it very surprising that I sense really no obligation among we who are in ordered ministry to be doing it. You know, I said the trick to get this solved is you won't give Calvert his pension until he finds a replacement. You know, I find it strange that we seem to have lost, in my view, what I would call a culture of call in the body of Christ in the United Church of Canada in Saskatchewan. You know, Jesus had no such problem. No such problem at all. He went down to the lake shore and he says, why don't you people follow me? And some of them did. You know, with all due respect, we spend hours and hours and hours debating in this United Church of ours how we should best do theological education. And we spend hours and hours and hours debating the competencies. And we spend hours debating the orders of ministry. We spend endless hours debating how we should govern ministry. What's the point if we're not calling people to ministry? You've seen it on the stage. I think at this coming General Council, there's 5, count them, 5 separate reports on ministry and theological education, and rare in any of them is the mention of a call or a culture of call. So, friends, here's my proposition. It won't happen unless we make it happen. I can't say it's true of all theological colleges, but I can say it's true of St. Andrews. I can say it's true of the Center for Christian Studies. I can say it's true of the San DeSoto Center. Your schools wish to participate with you in calling this new generation. And so to this end, at St. Andrews, we've welcomed the opportunity to work with the designated lay ministry program. To this end, we've tried to reduce our tuition costs significantly in the last 5 years. We've just created the dual degree program. There's brochures on your table about the program to better encourage young people. And next year, we hope to be able to offer what we're going to call a seminary for teens, where we can actually draw young people into the college for a weekend and let them experience a little theological education, encourage them to think about ministry. And you can go just across the border to Winnipeg and find the Center for Christian Studies welcoming people into ministry. You can go just outside of Winnipeg to the San DeSoto Center and find people training for Aboriginal ministry. We have right here in our own Prairie Basin, within 2 cities, a complete package of options for servant leadership preparation, a consortium of opportunity. And now we have at our General Council an office in a national effort calling for a new generation. God's world needs leaders. So my proposition is this. In Saskatchewan Conference, in partnership with our schools, can this conference establish a renewed culture of call? Let's not just wait for the rest of the United Church of Canada. We've never waited before. Why wait now? My proposition is that we, in Saskatchewan Conference, ought to build a congregational culture of call, that we ought to just take Lydia Grucci as our inspiration and pioneer a culture of call where we are reaching out to a new generation. I'm going to invite you, if you will, to give me this kindness. I'm going to invite you to discuss these 2 propositions at your table. Am I far off the mark in my assessment that our future wings may well depend on calling forth a new generation of servant leaders? Is that on or off the mark? And if it be on the mark, is it then possible for Saskatchewan Conference to lead the nation in reestablishing a congregational culture of call? And what might that look like in some very practical terms? I'm looking at the clock. Let's take about 15 minutes. Thanks to you for what has seemed from this vantage point, anyway, to be a very lively discussion. If I could have my way, sometime down the road, we might just want to think about having a year of call as a theme of a conference year. I'm going now to bring us back and perhaps move us again a little closer to the theme. Tannis will bring us around. Tannis will bring us around with a couple of very, very profound pieces of music that she will share with us and for us, with a little commentary that I'm anxious that you hear. So Tannis.
I'm going to start with a piece first. The commentary will come before the next one, just a little bit before this one. This is a folk song, which means it's been shared and passed down by many generations of folk. We are not alone. We don't fly alone. And in this song, we are taken to places that we have not yet traveled and places that we may not yet know. To the Sky, adapted by Carl Strawman.
Sky from the earth in lofty flight, from the hills so green in the blush of spring, so away with thee shall I fly from this place to a land so far. Softly now with the dawn I will ride with the wind o'er the hills through the mist on the wings of thee. Spirit fly to the cloud up above. Spirit fly to a place beyond the sky. Spirit fly to a place on high. Softly now with the dawn I go with thee.
Last fall, I got one of those unexpected phone calls. Hello? Mom, someone's hurt and I need to talk to Keaton. Okay, so this is my 20-year-old son, Joland, and he's coaching the Walter Murray High School football practice, and he's requesting to talk to my 19-year-old son, Keaton. So Keaton is a volunteer for Living Sky Wildlife Rehab, the Forestry Farm Zoo, the SPCA, the Vets College, many programs, and the Central Animal Hospital, and the list goes on, so you get a picture of who Keaton is, and Joland is asking for Keaton. Keaton runs to find the biggest box we have in the house, and he's off and heading to the football field in our old van, the animal ambulance, if you will. An old crow was suffering on the football field where they're playing, and needed help. They managed to get the crow into the box, and off Keaton takes the crow for rehab. The football team at first viewed this being as just an old crow. Really, what does it matter? But they became enlightened to the realization that this crow was in pain. How many times might we have overlooked a crow or any living being in pain, not stopping to give it the care it needs, not knowing what it has been through or its story? It is unable to fly. When might we or someone we know have been in the position of just the old crow? Not noticed, overlooked, but in pain for whatever reason. For whatever reason, we can't get up and go, let alone fly. Hope, faith, prayer, and help from those who would answer the call to notice and answer the call to serve and lead and minister. This song is called Wings of Your Love by Joseph Martin and Patty Dredden. And I guess it was probably written so all can spread their wings and lift to soar at some time.
Lift me up, Lord. Let me catch the wind. Heal my broken spirit. Teach me how to fly again. Make me stronger than an eagle. Make me gentle as a dove. Let me soar on the wings of your love. Lord, lift me far beyond the mountains. Let me rise above the canyon floor. Take me past the clouds that cause my shadows. For you alone can make my spirit soar. Lift me up, Lord. Let me catch the wind. Heal my broken spirit. Teach me how to fly again. Make me stronger than an eagle. Make me gentle as a dove. Let me soar on the wings of your love. Lord, come refresh me with your spirit. Lift the heavy hearts that hold me down. Blow upon my life winds of renewal. Help me back to joy I once had found. Lift me up, Lord. Let me catch the wind. Heal my broken spirit. Teach me how to fly again. me so